The time is 6 p.m. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the YMCA Norfolk Friday Feelings Podcast with your host for the evening, Rupert Appleton and Charlie Wall. It's 6 p.m. That can only mean one thing.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome to Friday Feelings Podcast. It is Friday and it is the 5th of June. We've got me, Rupert, and Charlie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. That was the worst planned start-up to a podcast we've had.
Well, that was pretty interesting. Well, apart from me shouting down the microphone with enduring excitement for the podcast, we did quite well.
It's quite funny because I did the count. I was like 3, 2, 1, go, and then I could hear you shuffling around. And I was like, okay, hello, and you went, oh, there it is.
I assumed we had an intro. Well, anyway, this is the Friday Feelings Podcast with me, Rupert, and Charlie. We are from the YMCA Youth and Community Team, and we're here to lead you through our Friday feelings. Now, this week we've got lots to talk about. We've got lots of news analysis. We've got our favourite games of the week as well, and we're going to go through what's been happening in our work and our home lives as well. Last week we were talking about beaches, ice cream, and how we're going to turn the UK into a lockdown prison, Charlie. I think that's what you wanted to talk about.
Oh, mate, dreams, man. Dreams.
The dreams, indeed. So I've had lots of ice cream and ice lollies this week, so we will crack on with Friday feelings. Got some jargon busting and to tell you more about our social media updates and plans. So, Charlie, how have you found this week?
This week has been hot.
Hot as in?
As in, like, too hot to go out and do anything hot.
It has been sweaty, I'm not going to lie. We've had incredible weather in the East Anglia, haven't we? We've had stunning weather, although we're looking out the window right now, and it's raining where I am.
Yeah, it was raining where I was as well. I can now see a trickle of the sunlight. I mean, I'm quite glad it started raining because a lot of my plants were starting to die, so this has done me a huge favour.
You and your gardener as well, and you've put an American-style postbox up by here as well.
In the process, yeah, I've just got to put it in the ground now. I've just spent most of the day building a frame for it.
So every time I've rung Charlie, he's had a new fun fact about his garden, or there's someone at the door. You seem to be a hotspot for gardeners and tourists. So tell us what's going on in your garden.
Oh, okay, so I've recently moved into a bungalow with a decrepit garden. Got a lovely neighbour next door who's been working very hard with me to restore it. I think, to be honest, I think the reason he's helping me is because the bungalow's in a good neighbourhood, and I think I bring the neighbourhood down a little bit. So I think he thinks, I look at it as he's doing me a favour, and I think he looks at it as he's restoring the neighbourhood. So
Wow. So you're
I'm that guy.
Windshield of your community.
That's me. I'm that guy. I'm the guy on the street that no one really likes talking to.
Wow, that's brilliant. So you've been doing a bit of gardening, so I'm guessing you've looked after your physical health quite well in that way.
Well, main thing we've been doing, because we've pulled up a lot of the grass because we're trying to change it a little bit. But I've got 3 trees that I purchased: an apple tree, a plum tree, and a pear tree. And I've been trying my hardest to make them grow. Now, the apple tree's died, but the other 2 are thriving, which is good.
Wow, there you go. Have you got a partridge in your pear tree, or...?
No, not yet.
Gutted. Well, maybe around Christmas time you'll be having it. Have you cooked any interesting meals this week?
This week? No, not really. I've been cooking meals fresh. I haven't been, like, doing stuff in, like, the microwave, but it's just been... very easy things.
What's your go-to easy meal?
Go-to easy meal would be pasta with a homemade sauce with either mincemeat or tuna.
Ooh, I like it. I think probably mine is rice and a bit of veg.
What, with like a stock in it? Bit of stock sauce in it? Or
do you know what? I'm really bland. Just like bare rice and bare veg.
Oh, okay.
It's rank, isn't it? It's
Wow.
the most depressing meal ever, but I really like it.
Calm down. Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Reining in
Yeah.
Rupert.
Gordon Ramsay,
Steady.
eat your heart out.
Indeed. So that's how I've been looking after my mental health as well, with my boiled rice. Charlie, how have you looked after your mental health this week?
With tasty pasta, my friend.
You ever get tasteless pasta?
Oh, good news. So one good thing about where I live is there's a drive-through Costa Coffee just around the corner. It's reopened, so that's really helped my mental health.
Brilliant, because your 3 machines have finally packed up.
Oh no, they're still going just fine. But now I've got a Costa, so I can waste a tiny bit of fuel every so often to go and get a takeaway Costa as well. It's a good time to be alive.
Brilliant. I know McDonald's is opened as well. I saw a McDonald's that was open in Kent, and the queue was blocking 2 roundabouts worth of traffic. It was dire, apparently.
Yeah.
McDonald's open. And I don't want to call it sad, because there may be people listening who have done this, but then people have been posting their McDonald's orders on social media, saying how proud they are.
You won't say, I will, that's sad, everyone. Don't do that.
Don't start a boiled rice and boiled vegetable Instagram now, just to compete with McInsta.
I just want to add that if there is a queue that's almost a mile long coming out of McDonald's, that McDonald's is shut to everybody that's at the end of that queue. Okay?
And it's not fast food if that happens. It's not quick.
No, not at all. But I do tell you one good thing, with McDonald's opening, KFC is now readily available again, so swings and roundabouts.
Swings and roundabouts indeed. If only the playground was bigger than fast food and Greece.
I just like the fact that the minute the fast food started reopening it up, the amount of people that went to them, and it was just like, I wish if an alien race came to the planet Earth and they said what was the biggest impact on the Earth because of coronavirus, and there'd be all these options about what is it, global warming, was it world peace, was it solidarity in the Earth, and people were like, no, it's takeaways.
Our fast food franchises, the wonderful golden arches of McDonald's and the hope and inspiration it brings to us all. Vote McDonald's, they would say.
Ronald McDonald is a happy man.
He is a very happy man. There we go. So you've had a positive week. Any funny stories?
Funny stories.
Anything quirky?
Well, I think the funniest thing that happened was probably at the beginning of the week. Was actually with me, you, and Dale. So we're playing Sea of Thieves. So anybody who doesn't know what Sea of Thieves is, it's literally a massive multiplayer online role-playing game where you join a crew as a pirate and you sail this weird place and do quests and get treasure and stuff. So we got how we've been playing it is we've just been playing it like noobs essentially. So we've just been going on, grabbing a quest, go do a quest, get a tiny bit of gold, basically not achieving much. So we decided just to go and do a fort. Now anybody that's played Sea of Thieves know that a fort takes about an hour to 2 hours because the amount of waves it takes to get through it. Now that there is hard enough. Now I don't know what's wrong with me, Rupert and Dale. We obviously are hated by something in the world because we got to the fort, we started doing the fort, then was attacked by a skeleton ship. Now, if anybody watched the stream, because I'm pretty sure we streamed it somewhere,
We did.
90% of that was just me and Rupert screaming like a little girl, shoot them, shoot them, shoot them. And Dale on the island going, help me, help me, help me. We got through with that, we did all that, we ended up actually doing the fort. Killed the skeleton crew, repaired the ship, was already happy. The outpost was literally next to us, so we just turned around, went to go sail to the outpost, and this thing called a kraken appeared out of the water and just ripped up her apart. And we couldn't see each other, but I could feel the pain they felt as well.
It was so anxiety riddled that session. And so unfortunate.
That was so much work. That was like literally 2 or 3 hours worth of work, and that stupid thing destroyed it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But luckily, we still got loads of it back.
Yeah,
we are planning to do it again because that's how life goes. But that's got to be my funniest moment. The stress, which probably aged me 20 years, and that moment.
Indeed, my if you don't know who I am, I have a top knot. That top knot now covers the bald patch of which that game's created. Indeed.
Yeah. What about you? What's your funniest point of the week?
So I've been trying to do more than one workout a day, and today I'm having trouble sitting down. Now, people know what squats are, and people know what muscles the squat works. And you're as my mother would say, your gluteus maximus is exercised, and it hurts a lot. I'm not going to lie, it hurts a lot. Sitting down is now a chore.
Not a good time during lockdown, is it?
No, although I did have an ice cream. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, through the dodgy Mr. Whippy that comes round in his high PPE gear. But we just ran out of ice cream and ice lollies the day before, and on the day we'd run out of ice creams, I said, if only there was an ice cream van. Mid-sentence, I heard his ding-a-ling-a-ling, and he came round onto our street.
You heard his ding-a-ling-a-ling?
I heard his ding-a-ling-a-ling, yes.
And then you went up to Dale and you said to Dale, can I please have an ice cream? And he went, no, there's choc ices in the fridge.
I wish there were choc ice in the fridge. Oh, blast from the past. What's your favourite ice cream or ice lolly?
Favourite ice lolly? It's got to be the Cornetto.
Oh, such a good shout. Now we can continue with our podcast. Thank you very much. Been an alright week with some funny stories. Okay, so we've got to go through the general COVID-19 stuff. Charlie, what are the symptoms?
Loss of taste and smell.
Those are the new ones, yeah.
Yeah. You got high temperature, 37.5 and above. You've got cold-like symptoms. You've got a dry cough, sore throat. You've got difficulty breathing, pneumonia, and death.
Wow. Yeah. So keeping this light and positive as always. That is brilliant. Yes, those are the COVID-19 symptoms. And what do I do if I feel like I've got one of these?
You need to stay at home. You need to order a self-testing kit or get yourself tested. If you're using the contact and trace system, you need to let the NHS know so they can begin tracing people that have been near you. And you need to keep yourself hydrated, and you need to eat, and you need to keep your energy up and do well.
Yeah, so feeling unwell, all of those things, 111 for COVID support on the NHS website, or use your GP surgery's website. Don't always call, check the website first, and obviously in emergencies 999. That number again is 999, just in case you forget.
And if you do forget, Google it.
Google 999, indeed.
Yeah.
Lockdown rules. Charlie.
These are getting complicated now. Okay,
let's go through the basic ones first.
Okay, so lockdown rules is wash your hands every time you make contact. You've got to keep a 2 metre distance apart. You are allowed to go for unlimited amount of exercise per day. You are now allowed to congregate with up to 6 people within a public space. It is now... I'm trying to think what else has been recently...
Go with the old stuff. Don't go with all the new stuff we've got. That comes later.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yep. Well, you can't travel abroad 2 metres apart. It's not 1 hour a day or one time a day. It's a limited amount of exercise. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. 20 seconds with washing your hands. What's our favourite song to wash our hands to?
Mr. Brightside chorus.
It's the bright side, and asymptomatic, which means you can spread the virus even if you don't have or show symptoms. And just like that famous Disney song, Jungle Book, you should only go outside for the bare necessities.
I was thinking, in my head, I started singing the song that comes up when he goes to the Monkey Kingdom.
I'm the king of the swingers, the jungle. Bare necessities is the one we want.
Yeah,
bare necessities. Next week is karaoke with me and Charlie. We will be singing all the Disney songs. Charlie, it's your week first.
We could actually do that if you want. We could pre-record ourselves.
If we get at least 4 people to agree to that,
I'll tell you what. If we get 10 comments on the Facebook stream of this, we saying do it. We will both pre-record ourselves singing a jungle song and put it on a Jungle Book song.
I've sold myself short, and we're just now both selling ourselves out.
A Jungle Book song, or actually, no, you're right. We'll do a Disney song, and we will put it on next week's podcast.
Okay.
That's 10 comments though, saying the words "do it." Anything else doesn't count.
That wasn't in the script, Charlie. Let's stick to that. Oh, it's going to be all good. Swiftly moving on from karaoke-a-thon, we're going to go straight into my game show. Charlie, hit the music. Okay, and we have now come to everyone's favourite game show with Quizzy Rascal himself, and we have got I Moustache You a Question, the game show where I force Charlie to answer as many categories or questions in categoric questions, I don't know what I'm talking about, as quickly as you can. So, first of all, there are 10 different squares on a Monopoly board that aren't properties or stations. List them.
Okay, so you got the community chest.
Yes.
You got the go.
Yep.
You got the prison.
Yep.
You've got the go to jail.
Oh, yep.
You've got the waterworks.
Correct.
You got the electrical. Is it the electrical station?
Electric company. You can have that.
Yeah. You've got the tax. Income tax. You've got the parking free.
Correct. Free parking.
Blimmin' hell. You've got.
Come on.
It's two more. I'm just.
Think of the cards.
I'm thinking of back to that gaming session with the young people the other day where I got absolutely mullered on a game of Monopoly.
Have a sing a song about it. Take her on me.
Take a what on you?
Take her on me. That's the song. Take a chance on me.
Oh, chance. Oh, that's right. Community chest chance.
Card.
Community chest chance and community chest and chance.
Yeah, you've got community chest chance, and the last one is super tax.
Super tax. Oh, okay.
One straight after go, and one in between the two blues.
No, see, I would never have got the super tax because I'd already said income tax.
Right. Speaking of ABBA songs, what are the 10 best-selling ABBA songs?
You being serious?
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay. You've got. Oh man. Oh man, I hate ABBA.
Come on.
I don't even like ABBA.
Yes, you do.
You got Mamma Mia.
Correct.
Dancing Queen.
Yes. I've just sung one for you earlier.
I thought that was Dancing Queen.
So, take a chance on me.
I've just forgotten what that was.
What's the one from Johnny English?
I don't know. This is such a.
Does your mother know?
I'm not going to know this one. I don't like ABBA at all. Okay.
Oh, what? So then you've got that famous battle scene or train station.
Is this in Johnny English still?
No.
Oh.
Famous London station. What?
Waterloo?
Waterloo. And then you got Fernando SOS. Lay all your love on me. Take a chance on me.
You ain't got no chance.
Winner takes it all.
Yeah.
All that jazz. Come on. The Winnie the Pooh characters. What are they?
If they didn't, okay, just sort of add. If ABBA, if they haven't performed at Download, you've got no chance.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Come on, Winnie the Pooh characters. Winnie the Pooh characters.
What?
They're easy.
10 of them.
There's 7.
Okay, cool. I was getting really right then. Okay, you got Piglet, you got Eeyore, you've got Rabbit, you've got Winnie the Pooh himself, you've got Christopher Robin, you've got Roo, and is Kanga one?
Correct.
And you got Ow.
Correct. You've smashed through it. And do you know what we'll call it there? That is 3. I'll say you got 2 out of 3. You did quite well. I think you keep at above an 80% ratio, so it's not too bad. And that is the well asked for rounds of I Moustache You a Question.
Did somebody request those ones?
Yeah, I did.
Oh god, I was about to say, which person asked for that ABBA one? man.
Heavily requested. I organised those two with the Monopoly one because I thought I could sing it. And I was right. You fell for my cunning ploy.
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, mate.
So, the things we are not going to take a chance on is PPE. Now, where do you now have to wear PPE, Charlie?
Mandatory PPE is required by hospital staff and doctors. Also required in dentists, and it's also required by the general public whenever they take transportation. Or public transportation, shall I say.
Public transport are now saying that it is mandatory to wear a face mask from June the 15th. I believe it is. They might bring it sooner, but currently it's still on June the 15th, I believe. But yeah, you will be asked to remove yourself or put a face mask on if you are not wearing one. And you mentioned about dentists. Apparently dentistry is in high demand, and only 1/3 of dentistries are going to be opened, and they're going to be opened in different fashions. They're going to, unfortunately, there's going to be a bit of a waiting list for them as well, but that is good. If your favourite time is 2:30, you are going to be able to get some support.
Oh my god, you're such a dad with your jokes, man.
Yeah. Well, don't bring the waterworks just yet, Charlie. Keep those Monopoly cards to yourself. Okay, what do we have next? Ah, yes. Does your mother know about the total of tests given out?
What's it, 220 odd thousand?
You read the script, or are you just guessing because you're 57 out?
No, I was watching Mr. Johnson and his beautiful daily updates on everything in life.
Indeed, we scour the news and headlines to bring you the best and most accurate independent news. Gosh, we should coin that phrase. Yes, so apparently it's 9 a.m. this morning, I think. 220,057 tests had been given out. Whether people do those tests in those days, we don't know, but those are the amount of tests that are given out.
What is the point of the... I know this is going to be a stupid question, but I don't really understand the point of the tests. I mean, the tests are useful in an instance where you think you have COVID-19 and you want it confirmed or not. But people have been reported just ordering the tests. When it became available to general public, the amount of people that ordered them, it went out, I think, for the first couple of weeks. It kept repeatedly going... The website kept going offline because they were running out. I don't see the point of that. I could order one now, test myself, be clear, go outside and be coughed on, and then have COVID-19 the next day.
Well, they want to get a dynamic heat map, don't they, of who has it, where it is.
Oh, to track the infection rate across the country.
I think it is probably for that and a wide other reason. It's also they want to gather statistics of the R number as well, the infection rate it'll affect.
Well, they're saying that the R number now is at between 0.5 and 0.7, so it's below 1 still.
It's just gone up, I think, actually.
Yeah,
it's above 0.7.
Yeah, they said yesterday 0.7, so it's just below 1. And the entire mission is to keep the R factor below 1.
Indeed.
Don't know what that means, though. That's the infection rate, isn't it? The rate of the infection.
Rate of infection is true, yeah. They're published, the Office of National Statistics figures are published that today. But please go on and do your own research. That's something I want to get across today. We're not going to bombard you with statistics. We want you to find them out, because sometimes people can get bogged down in statistics. We don't want you to do that. We want you to live outside the numbers.
And don't go to Facebook for your statistics. Go to the NHS and the government freely now print. I think there's a website on the NHS where you can actually download them yourself.
Indeed, because what have Google done to support you?
If you search coronavirus, the top websites, I believe on the first page, are all government-approved websites for real news around the virus.
Indeed. Very, very true. In other news, I feel like a news reporter now. I've got some positive news. What's the greatest sport in the world, Charlie?
Death race. You want me to say football, don't you? But it's not. I'm trying to think of.
No! The 20th of June, the Premier League starts. Although I think the 17th of June is the first official live game. But the 20th of June, the Premier League starts again. We've had over 100, or we will have over 100 days without live English football. The Bundesliga has obviously gone back, and I think the Belarusian league has still gone on. Strangely, you can look at that if you want. But yes, the English Premier League has come back. Unfortunately, there will be no fans, so no day tickets or anything like that. And they've rewritten to change some of the TV rights and policies. And the BBC Sport is going to host some live football, which is the first time it's done it. I believe since 1988, some Premier League stats, or the first games from Tottenham versus Arsenal. And the first game, I think, is it Crystal Palace and Bournemouth? I can't quite remember. But the Premier League is back. You can't see my face, but my arms are in the air.
I want to say, I don't like football, but I would probably recommend, if you can watch it, watch that first match. Because although they're not top dog teams, they're going to have the pressure of the fact that they're the first televised match. So they're going to want to perform.
Indeed, that'll be a high-scoring game. I doubt it will, to be honest.
I'll tell you what, could you imagine if Green Street was filmed during COVID-19? It'd only be like 5 minutes long, because they'd go in the pub, they'd drink, and then they'd get fined and go home. That's literally be it. They wouldn't even be able to do the hooligan.
That's what we want.
All their tickets, they wouldn't be able to refund. It'd be us watching them have a go at people down the phone because they can't refund their football season ticket. And then watching the Friday Feelings podcast,
which is what you should be doing. Cannot wait for that. But yeah, football's coming back. Okay, so we've obviously done some... national trusts are open. Pre-book your tickets now. Don't just turn up. I said that last week. We've mentioned very briefly about NHS Test and Trace. They're still developing it. I think they've got about 25,000 people on it. But those are probably just NHS workers currently, or police. They're all going to have one universal tracking system. It's not going to be adjusted for whether you are officially in government, Parliament, or a national service. It's the same track and trace, test and trace service for everyone, which is nice.
It's the one they tried in Isle of Wight, so probably a high number of those Isle of Wight members.
I think they probably are. So far it's been slow, but they say it's successful, and whatever success is.
Yeah, what they measure it against?
I haven't got a clue.
I mean, the Chinese developed an app where you could only travel using barcodes.
I've got an app for everything, mate.
It looked very successful.
It's like Tinder, but for COVID.
Yeah, but you always want to avoid.
It's always a negative step.
There's another one.
Nope. Congratulations, you've swerved everyone.
That's what
someone with asymmetric
on the app, if you've been near somebody with COVID-19, it should come up with "it's a match."
So congratulations.
Oh, that'd be funny. I mean, not for you if you get the "it's a match," but
no. Anyway, moving off that, we won't mention Tinder again. It shouldn't be
oh, that's funny.
If you're listening, don't download it. Okay, moving on. Okay, Charlie, there's been one other thing. I say one other thing. There's been a massive amount of coverage in the news, and we're going to mention it. And it's the hashtag and the social movement Black Lives Matter. Yes. You've seen what's been going on in the news, haven't you, Charlie?
Yes, I have. It's a very long-standing movement that has gained some significant support in the recent weeks due to a very, very tragic incident in America.
Indeed. So we aren't going to dive into any opinions or any massive amount of detail in this, but we needed to bring it to our attention just because it's in the news, it's relevant, and we want to make sure that you understand what's going on and where it's coming from, really. So Black Lives Matter started in 2013 as a hashtag after Trayvon Martins was unfortunately killed by a police officer, and the courts acquitted the policeman, which means dropped all charges, and this sparked national outrage. Now, that's just what happened. I'm not going to go into any details and opinions, but that is how in 2013 the hashtag started. The hashtag started obviously on social media, and it was just for gathering of information, but has since now sparked a social movement trying to spotlight injustice.
Yep. Black Lives Matter, I mean, one of the key positives that has come out of this recent surge is that the dialogue for conversation is now so big that people are now talking about it. I mean, like you said, it's been around since 2013, and I know that there's also been a film made about Black Lives Matter, or around the instances of Black Lives Matter or of racial inequality. But this tragic incident against George Floyd has sparked a explosion on the box to allow us to all now have a discussion and to really say that it's not okay.
Yeah, it's just bringing it to your attention, really. We're reserving as many statistics and things as we can, but I said to Charlie earlier, we encourage you to go and just Google it and find out who's been affected, what's happening in America. We wanted to bring this to your attention because you would have seen some potentially quite distressing images going on. You'll have seen protests and riots, and we hope you've seen the really quality and efficient peaceful protests that have been going on, which have opened some old cases and is it inquisitions is the right word?
Yep.
And sort of hearings as well, because their slogan is sort of an acknowledgement, an accountability, a clarity and equality, and some quotes of that are: injustice anywhere is a threat on justice everywhere. And that's what they're trying to portray, really, and get across that social action and just the conversations, those really tough conversations you have with the people around you, with your family and friends. And we can sit here and say, well, we can do it, but we're both two middle-class white people, and we are not at the forefront. But we need to make sure that we are mentioning it as it's relevant and topical, and it is an injustice.
And we want to add, especially to the younger generation that are hopefully listening, that when we say go out and do your own research on this, not just this, but any kind of big movement, so this could be Pride as well, this could be Black Lives Matter, it could be coronavirus, social media is not the way to go. A lot of fake news gets spread, like since the riots started taking place a week ago. Videos and images are coming up, and not all of those are being described as seen in the image. So jump away from social media, do some proper research. If you're generally interested in this movement, do proper research before you voice your opinion or before you make an opinion, because there's nothing worse than letting fake news determine your stance on it.
Just because someone's posted a video and given it a label and a title doesn't make it accurate. We were just speaking before about there's a protest in London and Birmingham, And Charlie said, "Oh well, there was this video," and I said, "Well, I'm not sure that's correct," and it was from a source that's potentially well known for blowing up misinformation. So it's just about doing correct research.
If you find if you find something online on social media, fact check it. The easiest way to do it is if enough relevant sources and established sources. So, like for instance, if 5 newspapers are saying the exact same thing, high percentage chance is that it might be true. But if only one newspaper is saying it in this way compared to everyone else, chances are either or not even if a website that is persona in a newspaper is saying this and nothing else is backing it up, chances are what they're saying may not be 100% legit.
Yeah, don't take it for fact, and then don't spread it.
And this is on both sides of the writing, okay? There's fake news going out about rioters, and there's fake news going out about police. The issue is when something as big as this happens, there is opportunists out there, and it can really taint the platform sometimes.
Correct. Yeah. Don't just read it and preach it.
Yeah. Perfect.
So I think that is a really important message. And obviously there were lots of successfully peaceful protests in London and Birmingham, where it is reported that no major arrests and no major disorder was given. There will have obviously been reports of someone being arrested or someone causing a bit of antisocial behaviour, but in the majority they were doing it on a social distance friendly net, and it was really positive. And the police were in support, not just turning up as well, which is nice. I don't want to say unlike in America, but in America, unfortunately, it's tainted what the movement has become. The Black Lives Matter social movement is not there to rally anger and violence. It's there to rally lawful gatherings and lawful change. Yeah. Which is what we want to promote as well. That form of equality and spotlighting injustice.
And that is one of the key things about YMCA Norfolk, because YMCA Norfolk, and I know we've posted this, and I know a lot of you have probably already read this, which is great if you have, but we do stand in solidarity, can never pronounce that word, with the people around the world, thank you, and in our community who experience racism. We speak out against racial inequality in all forms. YMCA is very, very strong on diversity, and which is why if you find yourself in a position where you want to talk about this, you can speak to one of our youth engagement workers every Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m, as well as any other issues that may concern you. But just be warned, we are not necessarily experts, but if we need to, we can refer you to a place where there will be one.
We're not there to point the finger or, promote our opinions. We're here for you guys who are listening to make sure you don't get fed misinformation, okay? And as Charlie said, we are here. When I was looking at it, I spent a lot of time looking at this yesterday. Lots of names came up in America, especially, and in the UK. It was, as we're on Friday feelings, it was almost overwhelming. It was a very emotional experience I was reading, because it is upsetting, I'm afraid. But do get in contact. Do inform us of what you're looking at and where you're getting the information from as well. We want to be there to support you.
Like I said, we are by no means experts in this field or any field, but we will, if you need us to, work with you and refer you to a professional in the field if you need that kind of support.
Indeed. Couldn't agree more, Charlie. I couldn't agree more. Okay, Friday Feelings podcast. Charlie, do you have a game for us? That is most of our updates.
No. I'm gonna be pushing towards the whole karaoke thing. Remember, guys, 10 comments saying do it, and me and Rupert will sing a Disney song. And then
what is your karaoke choice?
Mine, it's probably going to be "You're Welcome," or
"You're Welcome."
Yeah, this from Disney's Moana.
Good grief.
Or what's another good one?
Be Our Guest.
No, I don't know the lyrics to that one. We're trying to think of one to know the lyrics to.
Don't worry, we'll get you the words.
Probably one from Hercules.
Oh, like it. Old school.
But you won't. But you guys out there, you won't hear squat if you don't give us those comments.
Yeah, thankfully there are none. Wonderful.
And 10 comments from the same person doesn't count in case anybody gets that idea.
Well, that was positive. Okay, so, with no game, we are coming to the end of our Friday Feelings podcast. Those are the majority of the updates that I've got. We've done the symptoms, we've had the moustache game. We'll see some different stuff on our social media. We've just rebranded it every month. And we're going to be stripping back our gaming sessions only because the interaction has dropped. So if you want to get involved and you want to change the times or the games, get involved.
We are if you're also wanting to take part but cannot because you do not have Xbox Live, just drop us a message on Facebook at YMCA Norfolk Youth or at the Instagram YMCA_youth, and we will send you a 1 month Xbox Live code completely free of charge.
Wowee, that is good. That is a deal I must take.
Well, you can't because you've already got Xbox Live.
Oh, well, that's okay though. I've got Xbox Live. Oh. Wonderful. Well, that's it. We are going to wrap up our Friday Feelings podcast. We want to encourage you to chat to us if you have been affected by any of these issues, or you don't understand or feel a bit overwhelmed about anything. We're here for you as well as ourselves.
Yep.
If you are feeling unwell, you know what to do. Call a GP. Stay at home. We don't want to increase the R rate. You don't have to meet 6 people. You can just stay at home and protect yourself, your family, your friends, and the NHS. That's what we want to encourage you to do. Stay at home. Improve your physical and mental health by listening to our dulcet tones and interacting with our social media. Anything else to add, Charlie?
Well, I said it last week, I'll say it again. This is the most unique time ever for you to be selfish and focus on yourself. If you are confused about what I mean, go back to our last podcast last week where I said it. Use this time to improve something that you've always wanted but never been able to.
Indeed. Investment opportunity to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, it's been a bit of a heavier podcast today, but we hope you've enjoyed it, because that is our Friday Feelings.
Yay.
Wonderful. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back next time to talk about karaoke, ABBA, and Sea of Thieves, and to give you the most relevant and hopefully up-to-date information about COVID and lockdown. That's it from me and Quizzy Rascal. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you very much. And now we'll hand you over to our voiceover guy to see us out.
Thank you.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Friday Podcast with the host with the most. From the countrysides of Norfolk, where the cows and pigs reign supreme, Charlie Wall and Rupert Appleton.